yoga. And tonight's webinar is about NLP at play in the context of being able to relax and being able to manage stress so that you can be present in the moment and enjoy whatever is happening in your life at that particular moment. So this is a brief webinar, and I'm not actually doing actual training. However, sharing some concepts with you and some skills and techniques, and maybe some things that you can just take away and apply immediately in your life. Just things that will help with whatever it is you're experiencing. Tonight it will be in terms of managing stress. So everybody is on mute, and we do have the chat box available there for you to use if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, and if we have time at the end, I definitely will address some of those questions for you. So in terms of NLP and stress and managing that, it's a lot to do with being able to manage your state and how you feel at a particular time. So when we're talking about state, we're really talking about your mood or the emotions, what you're feeling. And that's actually very unique for different individuals. Everybody experiences sadness differently, for example, or happiness, and so on. And being able to manage your state is about being able to choose the state that you're in any particular instance. So you can either choose a state, change how you're feeling, or even just access anything, a resourceful state if you need it. It's pretty important, for example, in the context of maybe going into a job interview, or even just coming home at the end of the day and wanting to relax. So being able to let go of the day's events and experiences, and being able to step into a different frame of mind when you walk through that door when you come home. So being able to do that is really important, because as we've talked about before, your state really impacts your behaviour. So if you're feeling really good, generally you behave in a way which is very responsive, and you're able to behave in a way to achieve your outcomes. Sometimes when you're not feeling so good, that also affects your behaviour. So being able to manage your state is about giving you a lot more choice in being able to respond to different things, and being able to, in that regard, achieve the outcomes that you want. So state management, there's really three main steps, and the first one is being aware of the state that you're in and gaining awareness. And paying attention to how you're thinking and feeling, and going inside to notice that. The second one is making a choice. So once you're aware you're in a particular state, whether it's a positive state or a negative state, you can then make a choice as to whether you want to remain in that state or be able to actually choose something differently and change that state. And the third one is taking action. Once you make a choice, what sort of things can you do to actually change your state, about how you feel and how you respond? So because tonight we're talking in the context of stress and managing stress, it's really important, I guess, to have some understanding, I think we all do, about the benefits of managing stress and being able to relax when you want to. And be it choice in that, be it cause in that space. So there's lots of research out there about the benefits of being able to relax, and regularly practicing relaxation techniques in terms of reducing, for example, muscle tension, anxiety, improving overall well-being, and so on. Heart rate, managing your heart rate, keeping it down, respiration rate, blood pressure, things like muscle tension and so on. And when you're really relaxed, your oxygen consumption is higher, and so more oxygen gets to your muscles, gets to your brain, gets to everything, and generally as a result you sleep better, your immune system functions a lot better, concentration and focus are good, more efficient, and you're certainly able to manage emotions a lot better as well. So, being able to manage your state is in effect describes the difference between people who really achieve their outcomes and people who don't. I think from the point of view of NLP, it's really important to understand how state is created. And this is the cybernetic loop. And I don't know if you recall one of our earlier webinars where we talked about what creates particular behavior. And it's a combination of these three things. This model is called a cybernetic loop. And it really shows and explains that deep connection between the mind, the body-mind, the mind and the body, and basically they're connected in a very powerful way. So what this model is really saying in many respects is that your thinking, if you look at it on this side, you're thinking, the internal processing that goes on, the thoughts and the images, the ideas that you carry or that you use in your mind connects to and influences how you feel, which is on the right-hand side. And also how you feel influences how you think. So the influence is both ways. And then how you feel influences how your body and how you behave. And your breathing, the physical state and so on also influences how you feel. So if you're not fit, that might influence how you might not feel so good about yourself, and it also influences your thinking. So this is a loop, and they all go both ways. So you can change any one of those things and things will change. So for example, this is an example you might have heard me talk about previously. If you think of a sad child, you might begin to feel emotions of sadness or depression, in which case it might cause you to hunch a little bit, your breathing might become slower and lower in your chest. And that will change your physiology, and as a result, you might start thinking even more negative thoughts, and you actually end up in sort of a negative spiral, negative loop, where one reinforces the other. And it might be it might not be easy to actually get out of that sort of negative loop. And so what happens is there is a lack of zest and a lack of spark, and the person might feel very slow or move in a very slow fashion and feel very lethargic. And sometimes people might call this state depression, or might be stress. But there is some good news. This spiral can also work in a positive sense. So it can go the other way. So for example, if I were to ask you to just for a moment, just go ahead and think of a memory of something positive that happened in your life. A recent event or a nice memory from the past, something that was really happy and positive for you. And I bet you'll start to feel some of those positive emotions and feelings come back. And as you do, just notice how that impacts your physiology in your body. You might notice that you might sit more upright, and your breathing might become deeper and full and more open, and you might start feeling more comfortable and just more open and more relaxed. And as a result of that deeper breathing, in essence, you have a lot more oxygen circulating through your system, and what it actually does is also help balance your autonomic nervous system, and balance that out so that the system that manages how you feel and the energy and the stress starts coming into balance a lot more. And so when you focus on positive emotions, you really increase that level of coherence between the mind, the heart, and the body. And there's research, for example, by the Heart Institute, which is focusing on the positive benefits, really, of focusing on positive emotions in the heart region, and performing balanced breathing strongly. When you do those together, it really brings balance to your overall system. So the question then is, how do we influence this loop? What is it we can do to change how we think or feel? So for example, we want to be able to move from this sort of state where there might be a lot of stress going on and anxiety, maybe problems sleeping. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but I can relate to some of that. Might be feeling tired and a lot of tension, all sorts of issues. People might even be using drugs and alcohol to cope with this sort of state. And then you can move from that state to this sort of state. This is really a nice, a nice relaxed state for being able to move into. It's a state of relaxation and just being in the moment and enjoying what's going on. So wouldn't it be great to be able to move from one to the other in an instant? Well, we can. NLP has various techniques for doing that, and we're going to actually explore one way of doing that now. So what I would like to do with you guys is a little bit of an exercise. So if you wouldn't mind, what I'd like you to do is just, this exercise really is around balancing your breath, and what we'll do is we'll explore that a little bit, so that you can have an experience of that, and then talk a little bit about at the end about maybe if you want some questions, you can type in some questions if you've got some at the end. But otherwise, what I'd like you to do now is sit in a comfortable, relaxed position. And it's better, this is better if you're sitting rather than lying down. And as you're sitting there in a comfortable, relaxed position, just make sure that your spine is straight and your shoulders relaxed. So your eyes may be open or closed, whatever is more comfortable. And as you're sitting there, just begin to breathe in a very gentle and natural way through your nose. So breathe in deeply and gently through your nose, and then out through your nose or mouth, whatever is more comfortable for you. Just easily, naturally, relaxing as you do, breathing in and out. And while you're in this relaxed and upright posture, breathing in and out, on the next in-breath, breathe into your diaphragm. Breathe deeply into and from your diaphragm. Again, breathing in and out. Just feeling how your diaphragm rises and gently falls with each breath. Just allow your deep and natural breath to gently expand your chest. Feel your rib cage open. That's right. And as you continue to just breathe gently and deeply, with every exhale, just allow any feelings of tension or tightness to release, fade away. With every exhale, let go of any tension. So you're feeling more and more relaxed. Simply and easily just letting go of any of the day's worries as you notice them just easily floating away with each exhale. In and out, relaxing. And now I'd like you to imagine syncing your breathing with a sine wave, a little bit like the wave that you might see on the screen or a wave in your mind that goes up and down, up and down, rising and falling. And just imagine on the rise, breathe in for approximately about 6 seconds. So you breathe in 5, 6, and then out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just go ahead and notice how easy it is to breathe in for a count of 6 and out for a count of 6. And notice how you can easily transition from the in-breath to the out-breath, easily and effortlessly. That's right. Just keep breathing easily, naturally. All the while keeping your posture upright, shoulders and neck nice and relaxed. And just continue breathing in this manner. 6 in and 6 seconds out. All your awareness on the breath, just noticing, being easily with your breath. In, out, relaxing, letting go, being present with your breathing. That's right. Nice and easy. As you're practicing your breathing, just take a moment to notice any changes in your mental, emotional, or physical state. What's happening right now in your body? And bring your awareness back to your breathing. You might start to notice how things feel different, and even your ability to respond differently to things happening in your life. More choice, more flexibility, more options. Okay, so that was just a little experience of what it is to practice balanced breathing, and the benefits of that are enormous. There's so much research out there about the benefits of focus on your breath. I had a reference on the previous slide to Oka and Salusa, who are two NLP practitioners who have written a wonderful book called Inbraining, and they explain a lot of the benefits about with using balanced breathing as a way to change your state and how you feel about things, and to get a state of relaxation. The whole idea of balanced breathing is very old and very ancient. It goes back to the yoga and meditation and real ancient traditions, Eastern traditions. So there's a lot of good anecdotal as well as research-based evidence about the benefits of using balanced breathing. Even doing it a couple of minutes a day will make a huge difference. The benefits are long-lasting and continue way after you've actually stopped the actual focus. The benefits go on, and so this is a brilliant resource, or a brilliant way to create resources for yourself and in your life to put you in a state where you can actually be more responsive and relax, and obviously have all the benefits of relaxation that we spoke about earlier. Our time is nearly up, and I just wanted to very quickly tie this in with, again, back with NLP and how this makes a big difference. You might have seen this model before previously, but these are the ones at the very end here that I really want to focus on. They refer exactly back to that cybernetic loop that we spoke about earlier on. And this exercise this evening that we just did with learning to balance our breath was an exercise focused on this point, changing the physiology. And we changed our physiology mostly by how we actually controlled our breathing. And you would have noticed that when you did do that, it would have directly affected how you felt and the state that you're in. And it might even have affected also some of your thoughts and some of the things that you were thinking about. And obviously, when we follow this down here, when we have a real positive loop going on here, which is self-reinforcing as well, it will actually affect our language and our behaviour. And that means that when we go out into the world, we can actually be much more present, we can be much more responsive, we can actually have choice in how we respond, we have access to our internal resources, which is a very powerful thing, to be able to access your resources, the things that you're really good at when and if you need it in any type of situation. So this balanced breathing really creates a state, an internal state or mood of calm and coherence on every level within your body. So it really balances the mind, the heart, and the gut. really very well and very lovingly. It creates an amazing connection. So I see I have a question here, which I will answer. So the question is, in the training programs, do we learn more about how the body works as a way to understand how NLP works? Absolutely. We do in our training programs, we focus very much on working, in fact, on these three different areas and looking at how we can influence ourselves, certainly, and change our behavior in relation to how we think, the internal representations, changing those, our belief systems, and so on, which changes how we feel, and also our body. We do quite a lot. Actually, there are a few techniques which we're, for example, anchoring, where we learn how to anchor in our state and be able to access that at any time. So that was a great question. So we absolutely do all of that. So I just noticed that our time is nearly up. I would really encourage you guys to practice that balanced breathing technique a lot. You can do it, even if it's for a few minutes a day, you can do it anytime, really, and really anytime and any place. And particularly if you think you're going into a stressful situation, it's really good to be able to sit quietly wherever you can and just bring your awareness and your attention to your breath for just a couple of minutes and focus and on your breathing. And whenever your mind wanders, just bring your attention and your mind back to your breath, and in for 6 and then out for 6 as well. So you can count both ways and just do that for a couple of minutes, and the benefits will be enormous. And as you do, you just get connected more and more with your inner self and with what's going on. So it's a technique actually that I use quite regularly if I need to check inside to see what's going on. If I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I quickly go inside into my own self to get a sense of what's going on. And I do that by using my breath and my breathing as a trigger to remind me to just be calm. In fact, when you practice this regularly, that your breath, or just bringing your awareness to your breath, will connect directly to this feeling, to this state of calm and coherence through a method of association, which is what anchoring is all about. And we are running out of time, and that is actually, anchoring is a topic of another webinar, but it's a very powerful thing to practice, and the longer you can, obviously, the better. So I wish you well with that, and I thank you for dialing in and listening and having a look at the webinar. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know, and I've my contact details there. Again, if there's anything there, I'll be more than happy to hear from you, and good luck, everybody.